and maybe in the ultimate, Ernie Terrell. This, of course, is the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammed Ali, or Cassius Clay as you will. And what's this about the governor of Illinois and the Illinois State Athletic Commission?
Well, I've been getting phone calls lately on my reclassification from 1Y to 1A, and reporters have been nagging at me, and you know how they pick at you and twist things you say and make you say things you really don't know what you're talking about. And they have been asking me questions, and I have been, with my big mouth as usual, popping off. This time it got me in a little hot water, a little trouble. But in the past, it really happened. But he asked me a few questions about Vietnam, the draft board, and right away I started making wild, crazy remarks, and then it made headline, caused a lot of controversy, and it did move the New York governor to contact the boxing commissioner. I only learned that this morning, that they were holding a special...
You mean the Illinois governor?
Right. They were holding Illinois governor. They were holding a special meeting on canceling the fight and taking it out of Chicago, and it really upset me to know that the statements that I had made caused so much shame and disgrace on Irvin Schoenwald and Ben Bentley, the promoters of the fight, who've had hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in the fight, and put the local commissioner on the spot. So I did call them today, and I told them I did have to apologize for the national and international embarrassment and pressure that I had on them.
Who'd you talk to, the governor or the chairman of the athletic commission?
The chairman of the athletic commissioner. And he, I imagine he accepted my apology, because I really have no reason talking on politician subjects, and I'm a fighter, not a politician. And if I knew that they would take what I said and rank it and judge me as a politician who made a mistake, then I never would have opened my mouth on the question. So I do want the world to know that I have nothing else to say about politics, in no way, fashion, or form. All I'm thinking about now is boxing, and I'm sorry this thing got out the way it did, publicity-wise, and it took my mind off of the fight, and I'm a little behind. And Terrell is the one I'm gunning for, and I'm going to get him and take it out on him, because he did make a statement saying that after he's through whipping me, the Army or whoever it is won't need me because my condition won't be good enough, and I'm going to twist it and whip him just that bad.
I will get to Terrell in a moment. First, you talked to the chairman of the Illinois State Athletic Commission. That commission today deferred decision on whether or not the license for this bout should be revoked. Is it your conviction the bout will go on in Chicago as scheduled on March 29th?
Well, me and everybody concerned, we hope it goes on. I've had a lot of training in for the fight. A lot of salaries have been paid out to theater people, and local promoters in Chicago have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and making tickets, and everybody's looking forward to it. And I would hate for my mouth to be something to stop it all.
All right. Now, you don't want to talk about politics, the draft, or anything else anymore?
Nothing. I have nothing to say about that. Just fight talk from now on. I'm going to stay.
All right, but you adopted a controversial minority faith, and you've always been outspoken. Now, you're not going to retract the charge that athletes are being discriminated against, are you?
Well, I have nothing to say about none of that. I'm not saying nothing. You use so many big words. How would you trick a man?
I'm not going to trick you. You know I'm not going to trick you, Muhammad. Wouldn't think of doing it. Fact of the matter is, what you stand for, you stand for. Is that right?
Oh, that's right. Everyone knows that, but I have no reason to take part in no politics, because we, as Muslims, don't. We're not supposed to mention it, and I've just been talking too much, that's all.
I understand that, but you said, why don't they go after all the football players, the baseball players, the basketball players?
Well, I had no right saying that. I had no right putting them on the spot. And I understand a few of them are on the spot now, and I'm very sorry. And I didn't know that they would really take these things that I would say and make it that serious. And from now on, I'll just be quiet. They act like I'm the president or something. I mean, I'm just a fighter, and I know nothing about politics, and I have a right to say things, but if I knew that they would get me in this much trouble, I never would say nothing.
Well, you're going to tell me here and now that you look forward into going into the Army?
I'm not saying nothing about that, I told you. No draft, no reclassification, Vietnam, world situation. I have nothing to say about it. We're just waiting. It's up to the government.
All right, let's get to Terrell. You're going to go after his belly? It's supposed to be weak. You studied the Chevalo films.
Well, I really don't want to reveal my strategy, but I will have a surprise for the world that night, as usual.
As usual?
He will be my toughest contender. He's got a reach. I notice he can take a lot of punches. He's never really been Chevalo hit him with his best. Machen hit him with his best. Cleveland Williams, and nobody's really hurt him. And I'm going to have to really watch him, and I can't underestimate him. And as you can see today, I'm working hard for the fight.
And I trust when that bout is over, if it does eventuate, you will still be the greatest.
No, I told you on the Wide World of Sports, you were the greatest.
You're very kind. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Perfect. You mean to tell me you're looking forward now to going into the Army? You don't take back what you said, do you, about why don't they go after the football players, the basketball players, the baseball players? You're an outspoken guy. You stand for something, don't you? You called the chairman of the Illinois State Athletic Commission. That's enough. You're satisfied that this bout against Terrell will take place in Chicago as scheduled on March 29th. This is Angie Dundee, manager, trainer for that matter, of the heavyweight champion of the world, Muhammed Ali, or Cassius Clay as you will. The champion is about to spar with a lighter, smaller man, Jimmy Ellis, a light heavyweight, really. And Angie, why Ellis when Terrell is so big?
Well, we have a big man, but we're just working for speed today. We have a boy named Turnbull, goes 6'5 and a half.
All right,
But meanwhile, we still got to stay fast.
all right, the boys are going at it, Angie. Take the mic, if you will, and call the shots.
Well, you're looking at the same thing. They're both moving for speed. In other words, what people are forgetting is one thing. My man's no midget. He's 6'4 now, and he uses his height to full advantage.
Is he concentrating on the fight or worried about all the publicity
No.
and the problems with the military?
When he comes into the gym, business goes on as usual. In other words, a boy like Ellis don't give him a chance to take his mind off the business in the gym because he's looking to nail him with some good punches.
That's when he comes into the gym, Angie, but is he concentrating on other things outside the gym?
He's concentrating on the fight. He knows he's got a tough fight in Terrell. He wants to be ready for it.
That left that he's throwing so steadily at Jimmy, will that get through to Terrell?
Oh, yes, that left gets through to everybody. Now, one thing you have to know is that Terrell gets hit with the jab. In other words, Terrell's got a good left hand himself, but nobody has as good a left hand as the champ does. And you remember one thing, Howard, the reason he's fighting Terrell is one reason and one reason alone.
That's all we need on that. Next.